from all of us here at 360DigiTMG, we welcome you back for our project explanation series, where we try to walk you through the projects that we have worked on and we have successfully completed for various different clients. And we try to bring you the project from a business as well as a technical perspective. So today, the project that we are going to cover is known as AI-powered innovative news curation. Okay, so this is a project that is in the field of text analysis, which is one of the most hyped up fields in the industry at the moment. So we have two candidates. Okay, so we have Mr. or Mrs. A and we have Mr. and Mrs. 360. So Mr. and Mrs. A, they have trained at XYZ Institute. They have worked on various different dummy projects. Whereas Mr. or Mrs. 360, they have trained at 360DigiTMG. They have worked on real-time projects. They have attended daily stand-up calls. They have created end-to-end data pipelines. They have worked on deployment for both premise and on cloud. And they have attended client calls. They have also had the opportunity to work on research publications. So you can guess for yourself which of these resumes will get shortlisted. So without any further delay, let us introduce ourselves, the star of today's show. We have Indra who has joined us.
Hello. Hi, Aditya.
Hi. So Indra, why don't you just walk us through the business problem, the objectives, constraints of your project? Just explain a little bit about it to everyone.
Why not? Sure. So first of all, let me tell you to whom this project was done. We did this project for a client who is based out of Malaysia. Okay? They are a well-known media firm in Malaysia. So we did this project for them. So the business problem here is, see, they every day, all right, so they collect news from various forums, both in offline mode as well as online mode. Okay, they collect data from the various forums and they segregate it and they process it. Finally, they try to derive some insights from that content. This is so to do this manually, it takes a lot of time. It's not only just about time, it requires, okay, it demands a huge manpower to do that. So the major objective of this project is to reduce that time that is consumed to come up with the proper insight about the news, as well as to reduce or to minimize the labor cost. So this is the major objective of the project. All right. So when I say constraint, okay, there are we faced a lot of constraints, to be honest, especially in the cleaning part. All right. So completely removing the manual intervention was not possible, but we removed this manual intervention, okay, around 70 to 80%. All right. It's not only just about the constraint, even whatever we have mentioned on the slide, right? So business success criteria as well as ML success criteria, all of them have been properly achieved in order to ensure that, all right, so the client's requirement has been met.
That is definitely a great news to hear, right? Yeah. So Indra, this project is related to text extraction summarization, as you have mentioned. So you were dealing with unstructured data. So what kind of data were you dealing with exactly, and what were some of the challenges you faced while using this data?
That was really a very good question. First of all, okay, so we did not get the data directly, all right. So what we did is we scrapped the data, just like what they did, all right. So we scrapped the data from the various online firms. So we used a powerful Python web scraping tool called as Scrappy, right? Where thousands of articles, not just hundreds, okay, 200s. I'm not talking in hundreds. I'm talking in thousands. So the thousands of articles can be scrapped, okay, can be web scrapped within 1 to 2 minutes. Look at the speed, right? So using this package, okay, we collected a lot of data from various online forums. The problem here is when we extract the data, okay, the data is not the one and only part which is getting extracted. Along with that, we will also get a lot of anomalies. For example, hashtags, all right, emojis. There could be a lot of advertisements, all right, on the web forums. All those advertisements will be converted, okay, when we extract it, those things will be converted in an ununderstandable format. So the cleaning process was very challenging, right? Especially the cleaning process was very challenging. So the cleaning process, okay, we have included the major cleaning techniques such as tokenization, lemmatization, stemming, all these things, right? So what we have mentioned actually, the space was not sufficient here to mention all of them. So we have included a lot of tools, to be honest. We have inserted a lot of, especially the regular expressions. All right, so we have included a lot of tools to clean the data. That was the challenging part. And then, so passing it to, and then we pass this transformed data. That means the data that is ready to be passed into our large language models, Gen AI. So once it is processed, okay, once the data is cleaned, and then we passed it to the model. Finally, our model will do two tasks. So we used two different models. Okay, one is to summarize the article. Another one is to classify the article. So the interesting fact here is the second concept, that is classification, right? So the main objective, especially, right? The main objective here was to classify whether the news is a hard news or not. Summarization is on one part, another one is whether it is a hard news or not. So we are doing both tasks here. It's not just about summarization. Once it is done, okay, once the summarization is over, all right, once the summarization is over, and then we will evaluate it. Already the model was evaluated using the sample data set. All right. Once it is done, finally the summarized article along with whether it is a hot news or not, that will be sent to the S3 bucket, from where client will take the hot news summaries alone and they will post it in their websites or in their apps. So this is the overall pipeline.
Yeah, that is a great explanation for the entire process, and it shows the level of complexity that you had to deal with in such a project, right? And of course, we can all see transformers being used here, and as we all know, transformers is what revolutionized the text mining industry. So it's great to see practical use of that. So one final question for you, Indra. I see this is the classification result. So do you mind just walking us through what we are seeing on the screen here?
Yeah, sure. Why not? So the first column talks about the date on which the data was extracted from the website. And the second column talks about the title of the content. All right, especially the title of the news article. The third column, that is body, that talks about the summarized article. All right, look at the next columns. What you see there is whether it is a hot news or not. All right, now in this case, most of the news are neutral news. If it is a hot news, we will be able to see whether it is a hot news or not. If it is how we identify that whether the news is a hot news or not, it is completely based on the amount of negativity as well as positivity present in the content. So we calculate the average positivity and average negativity of the content on daily basis. So based on that, we do the classification.
All right. So again, thank you so much for that explanation. So before we sign off today, guys, I just want to bring your notice the different things that we as an organization offer. We give you the opportunity to work on challenging real-time projects that push you to your limit. And Today, you saw an example of an extremely challenging project that would not just push you to your limits, but push you beyond your limits. You will learn about all the phases of the project methodology. Again, as you saw in the project architecture, you will learn about the different tools which are being used in the industry, like Python, Power BI, cloud platforms, etc. You'll have the opportunity to work on research papers that are published in international journals. And you will have access to various free tools that can enhance your learning experience. You'll get access to different mind maps to internalize high level concepts. You'll get access to machine learning architecture assistant, which will allow you to create easy as well as very complex architecture diagrams. You'll get access to resume mapper that allows you to get through the ATS sorting of the big organizations, and you will get access to animated learning. Okay, so these are some of the free services that we offer. So once again, thank you so much for joining, Indra, and I'm glad that you took the time out of your busy day to join us here. And please
The
do
pleasure is
follow
mine,
us.
Mr. Aditya.
Yes. Please do follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So from everyone here at 360 DigiTMG, thank you so